Hi guys, welcome back to Unpolished Gardens. My name's Kim, and if you're new here, thanks for joining us. And I've been away for a couple of weeks. Things have kind of come up that my attention had to go somewhere else for a little while other than filming videos. I really miss filming videos, so we're going to try to catch everything up today. We've had a little bit of storm damage. We had a freeze in the garden. There's been quite a bit going on. And I'm going to take you around and show you a little bit of the damage. And we'll do a garden update, show you all the animals, because we did get some new animals. It's going to be a long video. So it'd be a good time to pause, grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and sit back and enjoy. Okay, the first thing of damage is this is our apple tree. And as you can see, all this is nice and green. It produces a few apples. It doesn't produce very much because this is the other half of the tree. It looks like some woodpeckers have been up there, like right over here. This tree was struck by lightning probably 3 years ago, maybe 4 now. And it's pretty much rotten out and it needs to come down. But I like it when the birds perch on the very top of it. It's kind of cool looking. But it's got to come down because part of it did fall down. This is the branch that fell down out of the apple tree. It's really a pretty decent size branch, and it was pretty much all rotten. I know the sun is a little bit bright this morning. Normally it's not bright this morning out here in the front. But yeah, so this has got to get cut up, and it's apple wood, so it's good for smoking. Okay, so that's tree 1 down. Let's go check out the other one. The other one, thank God, is across the street. We have 10 acres, 3 on one half of the street, and then we've got 7 over there. So this is the other tree, and this part, I'm so shocked that this did not blow over. This is the part that I've been worried about that's going to fall and crack. If you can see, it is splitting. It has got to come down before it gets in the road or damages somebody's car. I'd hate for that to happen. And this other branch is really shocking that it fell, but if you see the tree, I guess you could see why. So this is where it fell from. It's pretty high up. But this tree is rotten. It's all totally rotten. It's gotten really, really bad. And it's got to come down. I got to call the highway department today too. But this is the branch that fell. And it's not really just a branch. It's literally half the tree. If you can see this. And it goes all the way to the creek, which is right over there. Yeah. We've got a massive cleanup day on this tree. And this is such a pretty tree. It's so sad that it's dying and it's got to come down. The winds were only like 20 miles an hour yesterday. Maybe gusts were a little higher, but it was all throughout the day. And if you can see this, it looks like it was pretty rotten, but this isn't. And it just snapped it right off. And this has got to come down before like really bad thunderstorms and tornadoes come through here, because that branch will definitely come down. Really shocked I'm really shocked it didn't come down. Like, I'm extremely shocked. Maybe the other part of the tree broke some of the wind, but it's only a matter of time and that is going to be on the ground. And we do get a lot of wind damage here. There was a barn over here on the same side. Let me see if I could see where it's at. Behind that blue truck, there was a barn. And Hurricane Ike came and took that down. So we do get quite a bit of storm damage here. But we don't usually lose tree branches like that. But those trees are pretty rotten. And they've been needing to come down for a little while, so I'm glad it's coming down. And here's a look at one of my containers that blew over. It always seems to, the wind is crazy. So those are, I guess I'll have to come and make sure that's a little secure, more secure. But I really love this arrangement that I have. This is a heuchera. It's a Coral's Bell heuchera. It looked like it was about to bloom. I pulled these in on the days that it got really frosty. It got to like 20, it got down to 28 degrees a few days ago. And then I've got a creepy Jenny in here, which looks fine. And also some Dusty Miller. And I've pretty much copied that on the other side. I think it's a really beautiful combination with all the colors. There also is another flower in here, but you can't really see it. I probably need to pop it out and put it somewhere else, but the leaves are beautiful. They're variegated. And then these have got these white blooms, which are really pretty. But they're really getting swallowed up by this heuchera that's growing crazy, because I got others over here that aren't really doing so well. This area has to be weeded, mulched, and moved around a little bit. So when I put these hostas, like this one, and then this one right over here, when I put these hostas in the ground, I think I got the tags mixed up, because this one is a very large one, and that one is a very small one. So they need to be flip-flopped. And the small one's going to go right around in here instead of back by that pot. And then I've got some more heuchera here. It's coming back nicely. I did protect these from the frost the other night. I just put blankets over both the beds, and it fared pretty well. These hostas have been frozen a couple times, and they're coming back. I mean, there's some damage still on them, but they'll be fine. And then I got these little grasses just to add some blue texture out here. My Paris has looked better. It definitely, it's an evergreen, so it'll be fine and bounce back. The wind. This is what it did to my hanging basket, which is actually going in the back garden. The colors just don't really go well out here. So they will be moved in a couple days once they bounce back from this wind damage that happened. I mean, they look horrendous. I mean, the wind was just beating them up, and they need some water, but that's not exactly the problem. I just saw them just blowing and blowing and blowing yesterday, and it did knock the other ones over, but they're going out in the back because the colors will just look so much better. And I believe this butterfly bush did not make it through the winter. I'm really shocked, but it is what it is, I suppose. And see, these are my other heucheras, and they're definitely, I mean, I covered them up, but it's been a really rough spring for them, for these heucheras. Yeah, I'm sure they'll bounce back. The other ones are looking really nicely, though. And then we've got this forsythia bush, and it's finally putting on new growth again. It had a bunch of new growth, and then it froze, so it's trying to bounce back. I'm sure it'll get there. Poor thing. So this is kind of what happened on my back porch. Things have flown everywhere. This is broke. Definitely a cleanup day back here. Yeah, kind of happens. These kind of froze. I didn't cover them up. I didn't even think they were going to honestly grow, but they were daylilies, and they're purple and white, and they're really pretty, but I don't know, maybe they'll come back. And this pot last year was some petunias. It looks like it totally reseeded itself. Some of them are getting pretty big. But yeah, so I was just going to kind of let it grow. They should be pink and purple. We'll see what that looks like. I really just want to pop one in there, but we're going to let it grow. We'll see what it does. So yeah, my other containers are doing good. These are impatiens. and some grass in these, and they survived. I brought those in, and I have another one over here, and I also brought that in. Look, we have milk jugs out here. Crazy. That actually was from getting syrup, maple out of the tree, and I had it set aside so I could give the things back to Alicia, but kind of blew around, so I need to collect those. And here we have some morning glories in here. They look like they've done okay. I did have to pull a couple of them out that looked pretty frozen, but I think all in all this will look really pretty once it gets growing up this trellis. It's gonna look beautiful. Okay, so that's all the storm damage. Let's go check out the garden, and I will give you an update of what happened there. Hopefully you'll learn from what I did and you won't do this, because I was really heartbroken. So let's go show you. Okay, like I said, we got 20-mile-an-hour winds yesterday. A couple days before that, on Friday, it got down to freezing temperatures. It was like 28 degrees. So all in all, this is what the garden looks like. And the trellis came down right here. I got to put that up. They haven't been secured, so that's not a surprise to me. But yeah, only one of the three came down. There's one right here, and then there's another one right here, and they're all fine. But this one kind of came off, but it's okay because it wasn't really secured. Okay, I'm going to tell you what happened and what survived and what didn't survive. So on Friday night, we got down to 27, 28 degrees, which was freezing. I spent hours covering everything up. I covered the garden up. I covered the flower beds up. I took pots inside, containers inside. I used everything that I had available. I used blankets, sheets, some sleeping bags, and I had some of the hardware cloth that I used to grow all winter long. And I grew spinach and lettuce and microgreens all winter underneath it and didn't think anything about it, thought it would be fine to use. And I didn't use the hoops. So, I don't know why I didn't think to put the hoops on there. I was just really rushing to get everything covered up. I only had a few hours to do it. And I didn't even grab the hoops. If you use that cloth to protect any plants, make sure they're not touching your plants. Mine was laying on top of the plants. Some of them were really tall. And when it got cold, it froze the plants. It was laying right on top of them, froze them, and killed them all. The things I covered with the sleeping bags and did fine, absolutely fine. Not one problem, the plants look fine. Some of them I actually just mulched with straw over the entire top of the plants, and they're fine. But the ones that had that shade cloth on them, or hardware cloth, whatever you're calling it, all died. Because it was laying right on top of it, and it's a thin material, and it was laying right on top of the plants, and it froze every single one of them. And I had it across 2 beds. I actually used that because I thought that that would be better than the blankets, and everything underneath it died. So I'm going to show you what I had a blanket on, what I had the shade cloth on, what survived, and what died. So, little garden tour for you. It's not the prettiest sight right now, for sure. But I do have lots of things coming up, and tonight will be our last kind of cold night. It's going to be 37 degrees. Everything else looks fine after tonight. So, I've got replacement plants. I did have to go buy them, and we'll get those out this week. But let me show you what happened. Okay, here's our little herb garden that we got going on. We've got some sage here, some cilantro, dill. Last night, looks like the basil took a hit. Should have covered it up. Got 36 degrees last night. 37 maybe. Yeah. I've got a couple extra I can pop in there. And the rosemary, it's tiny, tiny rosemary. It's growing slowly. There's also chives in here. I think they're right here. And sad about the basil. But that's what happens when you don't cover it up. I should have done that. And then this bed over here. On the first cold night, I covered this with a sleeping bag. It did wonderful. And this plant still looks beautiful. That one looks like it's kind of rough a night last night. Same over here. A few of them look okay. That one does not look very good. I think it's a dead goner. That one's getting close, but it might pop back up. I don't know. Those are cherry tomatoes, so are those. I did sow some seeds in this bed, so we'll see if anything pops up of a few different cherry tomatoes. Over here are the peas, and I did cover them up. I know they like cold, but I know they don't like freezing temperatures. So I did cover them up. All those are looking really good. Yeah, not too bad. Radishes are growing pretty good. I've got some strawberry spinach over here. Right here, popping up. Pretty sure that's a weed. And there's one right there. Pretty excited about this strawberry spinach for sure. Looks like only 2 of them came up. This had nothing in it except zinnias from last year. We got a couple of, they're the Autumn Beauty sunflowers. And if you can see that, they're coming up. I did cover them with some mulch or just straw. And we've got a few of them coming up. There's a couple of them there. There's a couple of them over here. If you can see those. I don't know if you can see that. We've got zinnias all over the place over here, all coming up. I did cover the zinnias with straw as well. I uncovered them the other day so they could get some sun. But, yeah, zinnias, can you see those? Hopefully. They're all over the place over here. There's a big patch of them right here. See that? There's a big patch. Zinnias there. Loofah, dead. I was babying those last week, and there's really no way to cover them up other than pull them down, so they're a goner. I've got a couple more at the house that I can bring out here, and they should be okay. A few other little cherry tomatoes here. Hopefully they will survive. They're looking pretty sad. Everything's looking pretty sad. Petunias I cut back. They're actually going in a different area. One thing that looks beautiful is the lettuce. And this is that freckled lettuce from My Gardener. Beautiful. And this is the Merlot. I think this is the Bronze Minuet. And I need to look up the name of the other one. I can't remember what that one is. But the lettuce is all looking pretty good. Should be able to eat some of these really soon. That's exciting. I just love this. Look at the colors on those leaves. Oh, it's beautiful. And then we've got the salad mix over here. It's looking really good, growing strong. Arugula is going crazy. Arugula's doing good. There are some holes and some leaf damage on these. Huh. Oh, it's bok choy too. Bok choy. It's got some leaf damage on it. I'm not sure what that is. I don't really see anything, but bok choy's growing pretty well. Loofahs are dead. Might as well just pull them out. They are not. I have a few more loofah in the house that I can pop out here, but yeah, they're not. They had pretty good roots on them though. Honestly. They just got too cold, I guess. I don't know if they probably wouldn't bounce back. Over here, we've got kohlrabi growing, and I just mulched it and covered it up, and it looks like it did just fine. Eggplants planted over here. I've not seen anything pop up yet. Maybe with the warm temperatures, it might pop up. I also have, oh, let's check this basil out over here. I've got a little Italian basil over here. Oh, yay! I had it covered up and it survived. So we're just going to let that little thing stay covered up because it's going to get cold tonight again. So we do have the Italian basil. And these are my little markers. I just used wine corks on skewers and they work pretty well. And there's the loofah. So I kind of like that. Okay, now to the damage. Everything over there was covered up with either sleeping bags, blankets, sheets. Most all of that did fine. I may have lost a tomato plant last night, but after the really cold night, everything was looking fine. Not a problem, everything looked good. And then I uncovered this other bed. It didn't fare so well. All my hard work. And this happens, guys. It does. It's just pretty sad because I really did baby these tomatoes. They were hardened off perfect. They were doing fine until that happened. I mean, they weren't even stressed when I brought them out and planted them. They were perked up and looking beautiful. And now they're a hot, dried up mess. Not good. And this was my biggest one. It was beautiful. It really was. And now it's dead. But I'm not letting that deter me. I bought more tomato plants. It's not the varieties I wanted to grow this year. It's fine. I just need tomatoes. So we'll see how they do. In this bed, there are 6 in here. They're all dead. Every last one of them are dead. All of them are dead. Every last one of them. So we got onions growing there. These were both tomatoes. And they're pretty dead. All of them are gone in this bed and that bed. And there were 30 tomatoes out here. I think I got 16 yesterday, so I'm just going to go out another day and find some more. I don't know. This one might. I don't know. He might survive. We'll see what he does. But most all of them are dead. Actually, that's the only one that even looks remotely good. That one don't even look like it's there. Yeah, they're all there. Well, that one's got one green little leaf. I don't think that's going to work. But I did try to mulch these. Well, no, it's dead. So, I don't know. Catastrophe has happened. It's okay. We'll grow tomatoes. It's not a problem. It's just I was pretty excited for the varieties I did have. This has become a problem over here. My cat, who is an outside cat, has never used a litter box and thinks that these are the litter boxes. So, well, I just broke that. That one just broke off. Well, we'll have to fix that. She's always been an outside cat and never used a litter box, but I swear, I got to get some Bon-Eyed cat repellent, cat, dog, and rabbit. These were my purple carrots. They were. Probably not going to get any of those. Oh, wait. Oh, there's one little carrot, or maybe that's I think that's a carrot. I do have pumpkins on this trellis. There are Cherokee tan pumpkins, and I had okra. Okra took a hit. Okra piddled out. I have some coming up there. I don't know what that is. Yeah. So nothing's getting planted in here until I get that repellent for the cat, because she's tearing this bed up, and she tore this bed up as well, which had okra in it. It's dead, and the cat has had a good time in this bed. Over here, looks like she's trying to have a good time over here too. These are my cabbages. They're coming up. Got to thin these out, definitely. They all came up pretty good. I thought I had them spaced out pretty well, but maybe the water washed them because there's really, well, there's a few over here. I think the water washed them down because there's quite a bit down that way. So yeah, little cabbage sprouts. Not all was lost. Not very many of them are coming up. Just a couple of them. Which when it heats up, I guess they'll start popping up, but not many in this bed coming up just yet. And the same with this. This is the contender green bean. I'm not really seeing anything in here just yet. And over here we have tendril green beans as well. There's nothing. I see nothing coming up in here yet. And then the pumpkins, not seeing any of those. These may be, I planted cucumbers over, I guess I planted cucumbers on this side. And I don't see any cucumbers yet. No, so I'm sure they'll start popping up. So I wanted to give you guys a beautiful garden tour of my tomatoes and everything that was growing. And well, that didn't happen. Still going to be a beautiful garden this year. It's not deterring. It's early in the season. But it's a little heartbreaking when the ones you grew died. But it'll be okay. I've got some Jet Steaders. Or no. I've got some Jet Star tomatoes. Some yellow tomatoes. I'm going to try to find a few other varieties. So at least we have a variety of something. And the cherry tomatoes, of course. That's kind of what's going on. I doubt we're going to get any carrots. I probably could sow those again. I don't know. Some days are going to be 80, so I don't know. We'll see. If not, I'll just pop something else up there. Thank God I didn't plant my peppers yet. I did start eggplant, but they haven't came up. I had them growing in the house, and they got too hot, and they died. So I just direct sowed some of them. We'll see what happens. I got a little bit of work to do out here after the wind damage and the cat and the boxes. I don't know what her problem is. But we do have things growing, and it's starting to, it'll start looking really good in the next probably couple of weeks when we start getting some warmer temperatures. This freeze was kind of out of the ordinary. Normally on Mother's Day, I have flowers blooming everywhere and things are looking beautiful, but not this year. Definitely not this year. I'll try to do a little bit better of a job getting these videos out. I've just had so much going on. But it's about to get time to get everything really, really growing beautifully. We've got goats. This is Rosie. She is so sweet. She just loves me. She's very, very, very sweet. And she's got to pee. And then we've got little Frankie right here. Little Frankie. Now she's a Nigerian dwarf. And Rosie, who just loves me, is a Nubian. And I got her from Alicia over at Providence Farmstead. And the first time I saw her, we bonded. So I had to go get her. And she's just so pretty. And they really like each other. They have become fast friends. They definitely have become fast friends. Little Frankie is warming up to me. She doesn't quite run from me anymore. I kind of let the animal dictate it liking me. I don't try to I don't chase it around and try to grab it and pet it and love it. I just kind of come in here and sit, and she lets me pet her a little bit. She's still a little skittish and runs behind Rosie, but she's warming up to me, and I'm glad about that because she's just the cutest little thing when she's hopping around, and Rosie seems to really enjoy her. So yep, there's our little girls, and you'll see them in videos, and I'll catch you and keep you updated on them. Oh, They're so cute. They're funny. Goats are really funny. But they're very entertaining if you just sit out here and watch them. Hi, Rosie. No, you love the camera, don't you? You just love the camera, don't you? Huh? You just love the camera? Oh, I love her. She is so sweet of a goat. So I hope you liked the update on what happened in the garden during our freeze. The few new animals we got, which I've really enjoying the goats. And I did try to incubate some eggs and I got nothing. I don't know if my rooster isn't really a very busy rooster, or if I don't know how to incubate. It seemed pretty simple, but I'll try it again and we'll go through the whole process because it didn't work the first time. We'll see if it can work this time. But he's a little bit of an older rooster and I don't think he's very frisky. But I hope you enjoyed this little garden tour animal update. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to go ahead and subscribe and keep updated. I'll show you all the bad, the good, the ugly of the garden. And we'll get through the garden season together. It's about to warm up here in Indiana. And I am thankful for that. It's been a very long spring, winter. It goes back and forth. So ready for these warm temperatures this week. And things should start growing really good. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and until next time, bye guys.